Hello world of YouTube and welcome to the next pre-prep for the next Drunk Anime Review, which as you can see by the whiteboard here, it's not Fullmetal Alchemist Part 3. April's been kind of a busy month, so I figured I would take a step back instead of forcing myself to rewatch Fullmetal Alchemist and kind of formulate my thoughts again, reacclimate myself with the show. I talk about something smaller, a little smaller scale. I debated on if I should do another smaller anime or a movie, and I went with a movie. Akira, my favorite anime film. I also debated on if I wanted to do my favorite Dragon Ball Z animated movie, yada yada yada, but I'm going to be doing Akira. So, we're going to sit down and talk about that, but first, I need to get a little drunk. So, throughout the review, I'm going to be drinking Dragon's Milk, bourbon barrel-aged stout. And then, to prep, I'm also going to be drinking, I'm going to spike this Baja Blast I got from my local Taco Bell because I'm sick nasty. Whatever. With Kraken, because as you can tell, I haven't gone shopping yet for alcohol recently. But before even that, we're going to do a shot of Kraken. We're only going to do one today, because I'm already feeling like a piece of shit, and I'm sure you're not supposed to drink at least too heavily while on allergy medicine, so we'll see how this goes. Not only are these good for drinking, they're good for measuring out your booze. People don't seem to do that, and it ends up fucking you up. Ooh, look at that. We're gonna do a little more. Now, I'm gonna abide in alcohol, and I'll see you guys when I'm right and drunk, and I'm sauced. Just a little bit. I'm sorcelled. Hello world of YouTube, and welcome to another Drunk Anime Review. Like I said in the pre-prep today, we're talking about my favorite anime movie, Akira. It came out in 1988. This is still one of the most visually interesting and just fun to watch anime films. You know, it follows Kaneda and his band of biker gangs in a post-World War III Japan filled with government conspiracies and all sorts of bad shit and corruption and power in the hands of Tetsuo and Kaneda and a bunch of these little weird kids. So, one of the things that's great about this film is not only is it visually striking, but it has a lot of depth to its symbolism. I know there's people that have written essays on what the concept of Akira is, you know, what Akira represents in a Tokyo post-war world, you know, and the story itself at its core is really touching because it follows the growth of friends and following, you know, friends not necessarily understanding what they have and all that sort of stuff, but there's a lot of depth to it because you can look into the whole birth of the whole flourishment of the body horror subgenre within this, you know, about cyber gore and all that sort of stuff being a representation of the masses' reflection of being consumed with technology. You know, it's a harbinger of fear. You know, you can relate the shit of Tetsuo being this youth corrupted by the war and then being further corrupted by the government and politics as its own thing. You can view his growth as a part of living in a post-traumatic war world, his gore, his mangledness being a part of that as well. Like, there's a lot that went into this film that feels very thought-provoking. But on top of that, you can just watch it at face value and have a really good time. Like, this is a fun film to analyze because there's a lot of layers to the characters and the relationships. But it's also just a gorgeous movie. Like, the animation in this film is so impeccable. Like, one of my favorite sequences is when they're riding on the... anytime they're riding on the bikes. Like, the bike shit is so cool because it has the light trails that are, you know, reminiscent of shit from, like, Tron, but it's done in, like, an anime sort of way. The utter scale of the destruction in this film is impressive from an animation perspective. The animation in this film is breathtaking. I don't talk about the gore specifically, but a lot of it is honestly very disturbing and is grotesque to watch unfold, especially when it comes to Tetsuo. And while the English dub is kind of hard to watch at some points because of some of the voice actors they got, they do still give a good performance, but that sub, it's the way to do it. This is such a good watch. Like, it's an essential. This is an essential anime film. Like, if you want a good film to get you into anime, this is a good one to do it. This isn't what got me into anime, but as a guy who was already deep in the realms of anime, when he watched this, I still, like I said, it's my favorite anime film. To witness the degradation of Tetsuo is sad. You know, he's a tragic character. There's a lot of tragedy in this story because not only does the world kind of hold him back because he's a ruffian, he's kind of on the lower echelon as far as his friends go. And you really feel for him when shit starts to get really, really bad. When shit starts to hit the fan, you know, it's upsetting. But on the adverse of that, you feel for Kaneda because you see his growth. You know, he sees what he's done and he wants to make it right. And it's sad. And not only that, those kids, those, like, government-tested kids, you feel for them, too. There's a lot of sadness in this movie. But it's across the backdrop of some gorgeous-ass animation and some really drenched in symbolism storytelling. It's a good movie. It's iconic. I mean, this alone, that's an iconic image. That's been recreated to death by, like, Teespring and other let's make mashup culture t-shirts. You know? It's a big thing. Akira's a big deal. You know? And I feel like if I'm gonna talk about anime films as well, I should start off with my favorite and one of the most iconic ones in the genre. Now, I haven't read the manga that it's based on. It's based on, like, a 5-part manga, if I'm not mistaken. But I can only imagine how gorgeous it looks because there's a lot of moments in here that just are like frames of a painting. You know, each frame is a painting. You know, there's a lot of really gorgeous, lush, grotesque animation in this. A lot of the transformation shit is gory. But outside of that, a lot of the violence is just out there. Like, they put everything on front. You know, the violence is very outlandish, but also grounded in a reality. You know, the biker gang shit feels real. You know, even if it's across this futuristic backdrop. They do a good job at taking this fantastical future landscape and grounding it in a very real reality. You know, and they give you characters to follow that do a lot. You know, and it's just really good. You know, there's some characters that may not get as much screen time as others and don't have a full purpose, but the main focus of the film is essentially Kaneda and Tetsuo and their friendship and their bond. You know, other characters that come into the fray, that play a part of the film, are key to the film's progression, but their place in this dystopian backdrop is the focal point, and I feel like it achieves its message very well, and it's a very great film. You know, it's up there as one of my favorites. I wouldn't put it in like a top 10, but this is definitely like, this is top 50 material. This is a great, essential film, not only because it has a lot to say and there's a lot of avenues you could take its symbolism, but it's a gorgeous fucking movie. You know, the destruction is so well realized, the violence is so well grounded, and a lot of the body horror stuff is impeccably animated. You know, it's a very anime film, but in the purest way. And that's why I love it. And that's why it's my favorite. You know, that's why it's my favorite anime film. There's other anime films that I also really like that I'll probably talk about on this segment as well. Like some of the DBZ movies. There's like fucking Angel's Egg. And some of the fucking shit like Mononoke and Howl's Moving Castle. But I'm starting with the best and working around that. You could technically call this like a Valor's movie review, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick keeping the drunk because I've been drinking. But that's my thoughts on Akira. You know, I have very little bad to say about it. It's a great film. Have you seen Akira? Do you like Akira? Are there anime movies you'd like for me to talk when I'm not talking about new shows or old shows? Let me know in the comments down below. But I'm going to finish my drinks and get out of here. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go. I'm in Viral Rack. You guys have good days, times, and situations. I'll see you another day. Also, if you want to see the live stream of me talking, you guys are getting drunk, it's linked in the description. I might do them more in the future and let you guys know more about it. So you can get some behind the scenes action, baby.